Good afternoon, traders. It is Monday, July 1st, 2017, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Hey, you see the Dow here? It opened up 250 points. I think it did go, in fact, I know it did go a little bit higher than that. Um, it actually here at the top established new intraday highs for the Dow. The Dow has never been higher than the top of that little point there for the first 15-minute bar. And then you can see what happened. It just kept going down and down and down and filled the gap completely, and then bounced up a little toward the end. Didn't help us very much. This is the worst possible pattern for us. I saw the CNN market headline, and they're talking about taking a deep sigh of relief now that the S&P 500 has closed at new all-time highs. They don't mention the Dow at all. It's like they don't want to talk about it. But I think the Dow is more indicative of what may be really going on here. And in my opinion, today it was unfortunate for us, but it's also indicative of a seller's market. And the selling, the open is way up here, but the selling took place all day long here and up until the very last hour when a little buying comes in, and that's probably profit taking on short positions and all that. Uh, here's the deal. I may show you the other chart here. Uh, Excuse me. Here we go. Okay, this is the long view of the Dow, and you can see here the sell-off in May is this thing right here, in this huge buying, rally that took place in June. And if you look over here, you see this top here. That was today's intraday high. And look back a week, we had another intraday high. Both those highs were higher than the Dow had ever been before. But they both times it closed below. Here's the deal on the Dow. On October 3rd, 2018, the Dow closed higher than it had ever been before, and it closed at 26,828. Today, it closed 101 points below that at 26,717. So, we had, in spite of what happens with the S&P 500, the Dow has yet to break that record set on October 3rd, 2018. And I consider that significant. And it has to do with part of the problems that we had today with this. Okay, I'll tell you what the problems was. First of all, we had positions coming in, and at least we got out of those with a little bit of profit, $913 positive. Still pretty disappointing in some ways. The problem was we had short positions on from last week, and we got really killed in the inverse crude oil. We were up about $3,000 in inverse crude oil on Friday on the close, and we ended up closing that position this morning as crude oil just went through the roof. we closed that with negative over $3,000. So we saw a $6,000 swing against us in inverse crude oil. So that was pretty tough, but we still got out with $900 of profit. But when this thing opens up 250 points, I hate these kinds of openings. We ended up getting into 17 new positions. Only 4 of those positions were positive at the end of the day, and those positive numbers were ridiculous. Most of them were under $100. And we had 13 negative positions, and put that all together, we're carrying negative over $14,000 on this the day that the S&P 500 made new highs. That's pretty discouraging. But the problem is, I'm looking at this and all I'm seeing is selling today. I'm not seeing buying, and I'm not rejoicing on the strength of this market because I'm not seeing that new high in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And that is my contrarian opinion, but it's also kind of discouraging because this is a bad way to start the month of July with carrying negative over $14,000. Now, things could get a little better tomorrow, but my experience is things like this don't get better. They just get worse. Obviously, it's only the first day of the month and things could turn around, but I just want you to know I am worried and concerned that this Dow is not closing at record highs. In spite of penetrating those record highs intraday, and both times this penetration takes place right on the open, and then the sellers just jump in and they sell the hell out of this market. Anyway, I have absolutely nothing to show you, but that's my rant for the day. I'll be back here tomorrow trading no matter what. This is Trader Bob signing off.